second our hearts collide. You pull me back inside your gravity, and when the stars align, I look into the sky.
I think as a kid, I always had toys. I've got these pictures of me playing with like toy microphones and toy guitars. And I remember getting a Tyco Hot Licks when I was maybe 10 in primary school still. And I remember playing it and picking it up, and I was kind of frustrated because I'm left-handed and it was right-handed, which is still a problem I face to this day, having to deal with instruments that are not designed for me. But I guess, leading up to that, my parents got a CD player, and probably when I was still in primary school, and I remember listening to like Silverchair and putting a song called Suicidal Dreams on repeat in the headphones, listening to it in the dark, which was probably a bit of an alarm bell for my parents when I was around that sort of 10 years of age. But I think it wasn't until I was in high school and my friends were playing some music in the music room one day. And I remember walking in there and I remember hearing this song and going, whoa, what is that? That's insane. And like from that point on, it was a song called Root by a band called the Deftones, and it has this riff at the start that goes do 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 do. And I was just like blown away. I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. So by that point I was already starting to play the guitar, but I think that song just totally transformed the way that I looked at it. And I think that was the sort of turning point where I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to dedicate my life to. And that kind of music was really, really powerful. And dealt with all these like mental health challenges and all this darkness, and was a bit sort of more progressive and not so much mainstream. So it had lots of energy, but it wasn't screaming, it was more like singing. And I think that was the type of music that really resonated with me as a teenager. Well, there's a huge array of people, and probably everyone that I've met has inspired me in some way. But I guess my early music teachers were, exposing me to how the guitar worked and how music worked. Definitely my peer group, all my friends when I was in the early days of high school, they were all really into music and playing, and so I was always teaching and learning and progressing really, really quickly because I was surrounded by all these other people that were definitely further along their musical journeys than I was. But definitely, Deftones, all of those new metal bands, Limp Bizkit, Korn, they were creating all these really futuristic, kind of interesting sounds using all these weird pedals and guitars with extra strings, and I think that kind of music kind of combined all of this sort of hype rock energy that I loved, but also with singing and all of these new futuristic elements and bringing rap elements and all these sort of new ways of creating music. So I think that was a big part of my progression as an early artist. Futuristic electro rock. So somewhere between the progressive rock music that I really, really love and pop music with some sort of electronic elements in there. So I've always loved aggressive kind of electric guitars and rock music and the energy of that, but I've also loved the futuristic sounds of synthesizers and putting musical surprises in there and being really, really creative as well. Most of what I do starts on either the guitar or with a drum beat or with an idea for a song, and I definitely have an inspired message that I want to share about helping people to truly love themselves, which is why Megalove is it's the slogan for being dedicated to actually loving and appreciating who you uniquely are on this planet. So the last 12 songs that we've released, 9 of them I worked with a really, really cool and amazing vocal producer named Jake Jaspin, who has really helped me craft the message and actually put it into lyrics and melodies that really make sense. He's really helped me to have songs that are specifically written for my voice and have the top notes and choruses that really build. So I'm very grateful to work with some other inspiring artists. I guess, there's a bunch of musicians and bands that kind of fit into the similar kind of style as me, like Muse and 21 Pilots, maybe The Killers, and then I kind of go a little bit more pop with some of my material and some things a little bit more rocky. But any of those artists that really have some high energy, interesting, futuristic kind of vibes and sounds. But I also love making an impact in people's lives and creating stories of transformation. So I would love to collaborate with any artists that love bringing people together, helping them love and appreciate themselves, and sharing their stories of transformation where they might have had some limiting beliefs and stories that they told themselves and actually helping people to turn their challenges into stories of transformation where they've had to become a greater example of a human being in order to live their life and share their message. So I think those kind of people are the ones that I'd love to collaborate with. Maybe Deftones. I think that would be pretty cool. I remember going to one of their shows when I was probably just turned 18. I remember crowd surfing across the crowd, and I was like, I just want to touch them. And I had this overwhelming, feeling of euphoria and fascination and fantasy and elation about this process of me seeing them. I actually also lost my mobile phone out of my pocket at that exact same moment, which then got trampled, which is another part of the story which I can share at a later stage. But I think that band really sort of was the transformation point for me. And their music's not really like literal. There's not like obvious messages in there. So I guess for me, as a musician, or as a lover of music, being able to interpret the lyrics and the messages and the powerful guitar sounds and intense drumming and all those kind of things, I think that would be a pretty cool thing. I've never really thought about that. I wouldn't say that we're kind of similar musically, but I think that would be pretty cool to meet those guys who made a dramatic impact in my life, and to then be able to play on a stage with them. I think that would be really, really cool. The one message I would love to give my fans is that you are worthy of love no matter what you have done, or not done, or will do or won't do. If you become a super successful anything, that's going to have equal and opposite challenges. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're successful if you don't love yourself. So whatever it is whatever adversity and challenge that you've faced in your life, and whatever it is that you feel guilty or shameful of, it's worth discovering who you really are and getting some support to really turn whatever's happened to you into some fuel that actually can help you, one, transform your own life, but then use that as a vehicle to actually help other people transform their life. So I just want to say that you're worthy of mega love. So whatever's going on for you, I wish you all the best in finding your place in the world, and you're worthy of being here, and I would love for you to find that place. And that's what I want to create music for, is to help people reach that place where they actually love and appreciate themselves. And that doesn't void anyone's life of challenges, but it does give you the fuel and the motivation and the momentum to actually tackle some more greater challenges and be the best version of you and be your own superhero. One useless talent is that I can tell what a car is by the shape of their headlights. So when a car is traveling behind me, I can go, that is a Mercedes or that's a BMW, and it's pretty useless. Yeah, I've probably got a few other ones, but that's the one I'll share with you today. As much as I can, I think during the day through pretty much everything. Sometimes it will be my songs because I'm either practicing them for a gig or for a recording. I don't know, it's probably whatever's on my playlist at the moment. And yeah, I might put my top 40 playlist in the link below, so you guys can check out what I'm listening to at the moment. And you guys can let me know what your favorite songs are at the moment. Maybe I'll sing them in the shower.